Have you wanted to bike at night, but you're worried about safety or being seen? Bike lights have been so expensive and cumbersome to carry around until now. The EVO 1700 is a small, compact light that outputs a max 1700 lumens and has some really cool built-in technology. The Seemee 300 is a tail light with 300 lumens of red light, but it feels like a lot more than that. It's also got a really cool feature that I'll show you here in a minute. The EVO has a low beam setting and a high beam setting, and in each of those low and high, they have high, medium, and low. So you have a total of 6 different outputs, ranging from 200 lumens up to the 1700 lumens. Then you also have a flash mode. I love that it uses a GoPro mount as well as being USB-C charging and waterproof or resistance. The beam density is 10,520 CD. And the beam distance is 205 meters. All of that is backed by Magicshine's 2-year warranty. Inside that box you get the instructions, a mounting bracket which has the GoPro mounting style underneath there, and then a mount for your Garmin or Wahoo up front. It's got some additional spacers for handlebars, charging cable, even some Allen keys and extra screws for attaching it. It's got some cable management for attachment for the remote control. How this works, you just attach it by your thumb, and so as you're riding on the hoods, you can easily just turn the light on and off or adjust its output. In the box of the Seemee, you get this seat post mount, which is just a 1/4 turn. You've also got a seat rail mount that's also that 1/4 turn and can be attached using zip ties, and the instruction manual. So the EVO can run anywhere from 11 hours up to 2 hours on full 1700 lumen. Takes about 5 hours to charge from being completely dead. In the Seemee 300, it took about 2 hours to charge, and it'll run over 11 hours as well. You can control these lights with an app. I'll show you that later. But let's get to what you really want to see, the output of these lights. So you can see here it's got a large filament on the inside there, and then a magnifying type glass to amplify that output. One really cool thing about this Magicshine EVO 1700 is the cutoff. And what that does is it basically, instead of having the light flare out completely, it projects more towards the ground and stays level so that you're not blinding oncoming traffic. Let me show that to you. So to turn on the light, you just hold down this button on the side. And you can see how the beam just kind of stops right there. And so that's on the low beam setting. And if I switch over to the high beam setting, you'll see that jump up just a few inches. So you've got your low and your high beam. And then within each of those, you've got 3 different settings you can cycle through. There's the full 1700 lumens. Again, cycling through those. Then I'll go back to a low beam. And cycling through those. And see the different outputs as well. It also comes with a remote control that needs to be paired first to the light. Once it's paired, you can then control the different settings, the on-off, just by cycling through with those different buttons. Pretty convenient because it's hard to reach down underneath the mounting bracket when you have that installed underneath to push that button to cycle through. So having that remote right up on your hood makes it super convenient. I've used a lot of brake lights on my road bikes before, including the previous versions of the Seemee, and this has to be my favorite version. So it's got 3 different lights here, or outputs, one on the very bottom, then the 2 here. To turn it on, you just push the top button. We'll show the battery indicator there. So I've got that cool thing that I was wanting to tell you about before is called a brake sensor. And what it does is when there's a rapid movement forward or backwards, the light actually illuminates more. So let me try to see if I can show you that here on film. So it's just a slow flash there. But when I move it quickly, it lights up more. So that's to indicate that your bike's making sudden movements to any traffic or followers behind you. That feature can be turned on and off. as well as some other features if you're on a group ride so you're not blinding the rider behind you. And then it's got a bunch of different flashing options as you cycle through the button. Steady on, all flashing. It's nice to always have that bottom light on. It makes it still visible, but if you have a rider behind you, it's not that bright light in your face. All right, so I've got the app pulled up here. Basically, you just connect through Bluetooth. And with the EVO 1700, you can set up these different profiles and light modes. So I've got this one profile set up here up at the top, and then I've got these different light modes where you can set the brightness, the output, as well as any flash options like SOS or just normal flash or more of a strobe. And then within each one of those, you can set the output percentage. So I've just got a few of them set up here for now. So now that these are enabled, when the light turns on, it will be in this custom mode, but you can always delete the profile and it'll return back to the factory mode. You can also manage multiple devices in here, set up your profile, and check your versions as well. Also, the cost for these lights, I think they're just a great value for what you're actually getting, especially when compared to other lights on the market. These have to be some of my favorites, as well as this as the best value. I've even found myself thinking that I could ride with this EVO 1700 mounted for a mountain bike light because it is small and compact. And with that GoPro mount, I'd like to try it mounted up on a helmet in a GoPro mount to see how that would work upside down. So if you're looking for a lighting solution for your road bike that's going to help you see at night in a lot of different situations, sometimes you've got street lights that make it easy to ride, but if you go out on a dark road, this is going to definitely be bright enough to ride where there's no street lights. Or it can be turned down to ride with a lot of traffic around. And then this is so bright that you're guaranteed to be seen by oncoming traffic that might be tailing you from behind. And then it just being a bigger unit than the previous versions and the longer battery life make it a great option as well. I'll leave some links below to these if you're interested in purchasing them from Magicshine.